Tough game, physical game. That's what we thought it would be. And I thought Chicago played physical. I thought our guys played physical. Made a few more plays than they did. And there's a lot of bumps and bruises. I don't know the answers to any of the questions relative to any of the players yet. We'll figure that out as we get going. But tough competitive game. Good to get another win.
All right, when Tyrod goes down there, is that, you go with the Wildcat with Saquon, is that something you guys, a contingency plan that you guys have worked on before, and how seamlessly do you think that worked in a harried situation?
Yeah, those were plays we had in the game plan. I just thought those were the right thing to use at that particular time based on where Daniel was, limping around a little bit. And then we put a couple other ones on the sideline, ones that, Bobby and I have run in the past. So didn't have to get to all of them, but got to a couple of them that I thought helped us, particularly the edge plays, the breeder there at the end. And, Barkley's been ball handling since training camp. Not for this necessary, both quarterbacks go down just because it's part of our package that we have, and just thought that was the best thing to do.
Could he have thrown the ball if needed? Or no?
Yeah, I think he could have. I was hoping to get over 40 runs this game.
What was that moment like though when Tyrod goes down? You've already taken Daniel out of the game and not a lot of time to discuss that. He said he was good to go. You said how does that work?
So you're just talking about the communication?
Was it how you said to put him back in, say he's not done for the game?
Yeah, I told him. I went up to him. I know he talked to the trainers. He worked over there on the side. I saw him moving a little bit. I said he wanted to go. I said, "You're not going in the game. I see you're limping. I'm not risking you getting injured to try to protect yourself with that limp. But if we need you, can you go back in the game?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I can go in the game now." I said, "Tyrod's going in the game. If we need you, hopefully it'll be just to hand the ball off." And so when Tyrod went down, I clicked over to Shea and said, "Is he good to go?" He said, "Yep." And we didn't pass it, right? We just handed it off.
Coach, the rushing game obviously is a story. 200 yards.
The what game?
The rushing game.
Rushing game, gotcha.
Saquon, Daniel.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, your offensive line, and everything that happened to you as far as Saquon goes for 146, Daniel, and all that?
Yeah. Good week of practice. That was, I would say, the plan going into it. It's always good when things work out the way you want them to work out in a game. Daniels weren't necessarily designed runs. There was pass elements to the play that, we thought would be a good, few good designs to run against their team. And they happened to go with the receiver. We hit a couple other ones. We hit the one to Sills where they called us on a formation. And, I thought our line did a good job. We ran the ball inside. We ran the ball outside. Had a couple scheme runs in there that we liked this particular week. And then 26 is, I've said it since OTAs, he's a really good football player. So, that along with Daniels, what do you have, about 70 or something around there? That's the way we wanted to play this game, and it worked out.
Was that what made those runs by Daniel so effective? Like you said, they went with the receiver instead of staying with him. Or what other elements are there? It seemed like the fakes to Saquon also were confusing them. What made Daniel able to get those big runs?
They were open. Yeah, there was nobody out there. So
during the week, because those boots were killing them for certainly the entire first half there, and there just seemed to be a lot of real estate there.
Yeah, I'd say that's part of the preparation. It's really no different than a drop back pass you designed that you think looks good, or we had a variety of formations that we used a few of them. It's the first time I think we've called really one this year. Maybe we called one other one, but for the most part we called a few of them. I just thought it was in our preparations, thought it was a good play to use this week.
How encouraging is it to see your team win this game on a day when you faced as much adversity as you did?
What adversity?
Two quarterbacks got hurt.
Oh. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, no, sorry. I don't even think. Look, you just move on. Look, you feel for the players that get injured. They give everything they have during the week to get their bodies and their minds right. And if somebody's out, that's why you have other players on the roster that you have confidence and faith in. or they wouldn't be on the roster. So you have to obviously show empathy to your players that get hurt, but you're on to the next play quickly, and you're not worried. I mean, Evan went out. I mean, there's a list. You guys saw it. I mean, there's quite a bit of guys that were out there. I do have the names. I don't have the reasons. Daniel, A-Rod, Mondu, Love, Evan, Galladay, Tyrod. So it was quite a bit of them, but I don't think you really think about that when you're going. Other than if it's a play call and you need to do something different to either help a particular player or flip a formation or not call a pressure. Like, you got to know your players.
You said that you talked to
Tyrod? He was evaluated for a concussion. Does he have a concussion?
I have no updates on any player because I did not talk to the doctors or trainers before I came in here.
You said you've talked, as you said, you've talked, since you got here about how good Saquon is. But does the magnitude of what he's done so far surprise you at all? Just, the level that he's at?
The magnitude?
Yeah, how good he is. You said he was really good.
No, I think he's really good. He's a good player for us. We're in week 4, so he's one of our better players. Again, you can use him a bunch. You can use him as a decoy a bunch. But he's, one of our better players. I think he touched it about 30 times. So, yeah, I'm not into. I understand the question of surprise, not surprise. I just think I watch him at practice. He goes out there, he prepares hard, and then he tries to play as good as he can play.
You said that this is the way we wanted to play. But some of this at the end was certainly emergency situation. I mean, I don't know if you wanted to go into the fourth quarter and not throw a pass for the last 10 minutes. So, I mean, obviously you wanted to run the ball, but, I mean, you just said, what adversity, and you sounded serious that you weren't thinking about that. But
yeah. I don't see that as adversity.
But there's 2 quarterbacks able to play, and neither of them could play.
Yeah. Well, he was out there, and we had other things we needed to do. I mean, that's the job of a coaching staff, is to make sure you're prepared for whatever situation comes up. Is it always going to be great? No, Paul, it's not. It's certainly things that we can all do better. Start with me, but I just think that's what you do in a leadership position too. You don't panic. You try to stay composed. You try to give people a plan that they can go out and execute and believe in when they need to do it, whether that's the quarterback's not able to move, so you put him out at receiver and give it to Saquon, who can move, and throw Matt Breida in there. And I'd say just, our smart, tough, dependable theme, smart is at the top of that list. So being able to adjust and handle things as they come our way, whether it's a coaching staff or whether it's the players, that's very important to us.
You and Bobby Johnson put in some things.
We talked, and then Kafka, he's had some things. He's had Tyreek, and he's had other guys. So we just, when that went on, Paul, we just sat down and I said, "Where's the grease board?" I know not many people use grease boards. 5 people gave me an iPad at the same time. I said, "I want a grease board," which is rarely used nowadays. But we talked about a few things. But we had things in the game plan that you asked about, Mark, that were already in the game plan.
To put Daniel back in if you thought he was at serious risk. So that said, is it fair to say that you don't think the injury is too serious now moving forward? Nothing.
I don't know. I'll find out, Jordan, when I go back in. But I honestly don't know.
Then you call a press box when we're done.
I mean, if you want to bring Ronnie in, we can bring him in. You all right, Pat?
Yeah, I'm
okay. We good? Yes,
If I
go ahead.
may. Winning 3 out of 4 hasn't been the norm around here for a while. What, in your mind, is the biggest reason this team has responded this way in the first month of the season?
I think the players played good when it counted the most. Give all the credit to the players. I think the assistant coaches and coordinators are doing a good job of putting them in position, and those guys are playing hard for 60 minutes. So I'd say give the players first and foremost all the credit, and give the assistant coaches and coordinators the second part of it.
Quarterback, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we practice. I think we did it. We showed it against Carolina. So it was a package that we had in. But it was pretty, you don't want to be in that situation, but the way that the coaches reacted, brought us all in, started drawing it up, felt like, you're back as a little kid in the backyard playing football. But like I said, we had some of those packages already, and we worked that in, and we got some really talented backs and a great offensive line, and we were able to have a little bit of success on it.
Brian said he actually had a grease board out and was
drawing it up. Yeah.
You were watching him draw it up.
Like I'm like you were 8 years old playing with your friends, like on Sunday getting ready, and you just drawing it up. I'm the quarterback, and I draw it up. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it, and go out there. And we got to some of it, but defense stepped up big for us, and we were able to get the gritty runs and find a way to get a win.
Saquon, how encouraging it is to have a coach that can do that on the sideline in a situation with so much adversity swirling around?
It's not just the drawing it up. It's every week. The way that we come to work, how we adjust. I feel like every week, especially in the run game, like the run that's hitting is not the one that hit the week before, the week prior. It just shows not just how versatile the coaches are, but our players, especially the guys up front. They're doing a great job setting poles. I got to be a little better for them in the beginning of the game when they give me opportunities to get on safety. I got to, that's a couple plays taken on my mind, especially the long one. I got to break that and find a way to get in the end zone. But and the great thing about it, as we continue to trust each other, we're going to get better and just keep leaning on the O-line and keep trusting the system, and week by week try to find a way to go 1-0.
How did you know you were going in as the quarterback? Like, how did that conversation happen?
When I saw Tyrod go down, I kind of realized, like, oh, I'm up next. I mean, I'm the quarterback. So, like I said, I think, first of all, you got to give credit to DJ coming back in the game. I can't curse. He's a tough, you know what I mean? And nothing but respect for him, and to go in there and continue to fight through that for his team just shows you the type of person, the type of player he is. But I think, I just tried my best to read it. It's really not that hard, I guess, but I think I made the right reads on him. But like I said, we were able to keep the ball moving, get downfield, get some points, and defense did a great job for us.
So just to be clear, when you were out there, you were reading your keys as to whether or not to hand the ball off, or you knew you were carrying or handing off?
Yeah. You go out there, you look at a guy, I can't really give too much, but you go out there, you look at a guy, he does this, you do that. He does this, you do that. And I really thought Breida was about to break it. I kind of got caught, and he's special. He's a good back. He's a really good back, and I kind of got caught watching and seeing it because I knew he was going to get the edge. So I got to do a better job faking there. But the biggest thing, it just shows how gritty this team is, man. I love all those guys in the locker room and the way that we come in and we fight for each other. And it's early in the year. Obviously, you'd rather be 3-1 and 2-2, but we just got to keep building it, go back, watch film, and get ready for Green Bay and trip to London.
What was it before Daniel went out? Why were you guys? Why in your mind were you being so effective? And place that you were working, and then whenever he was rolling out, there was just wide open space.
One, he's a heck of a quarterback. He's very athletic. Two, we kind of knew after the first drive what their game plan was going to be, and load the box up a little bit. And if they're going to do that, they don't have enough guys out there. So we did a great job of, even though they loaded the box, the O-line was leaning on them, making the right calls, creating movement. I was able to make some of the right reads and put a little pressure on defense, and DJ was DJ and made the plays.
So basically when you are in there, they're calling the play into Daniel. He's telling you, but it's an RPO without the P?
Nah, not in that scenario. Not in that scenario.
You had
the mic, the headset?
Yeah.
Nah. We didn't go that far. I mean, I would love that, but nah. Actually, I wouldn't love that. Hopefully, we're never in that situation again. But we were able to get it done. We were able to get it done.
That screen pass that you took back around the other side. How do you make a play like that?
Just let your body react. Ball security was awful in the beginning, but I kind of just wanted to make sure we get back on track. And there's a heck of a block by DJ. Not really a lot of quarterbacks out there that will go out there and fight for his team, coming back in and making those blocks. So O-line kept blocking too. We were very good first down.
You've been, obviously in your career here, there have been times where the team knows you're going to run the football. and you guys collectively have not had success. I think from the beginning part of this game, people knew you were going to try to run the football today. Why were you successful, and why have you guys been successful in those circumstances where, even though they know what's coming, you guys are producing?
I will say this. It's really hard to run the ball in NFL when it's a loaded box. So I can't even take credit for that. It's all about the game plan. It's all about the system. It's all about John, starting up with John, making the right calls, and DJ putting us in the right position, and the O-line communicating and getting to the second level. And my responsibility is to just trust it. And there's some plays I wish I had back. I feel like I done a better job, but that's within every game. But like I said, when there's a focal point of stopping the run, and you see me go out there making some of those plays, it all starts with offensive line. And I got to give credit to them today. And we're going to continue to trust in them and lean on them. And, they're the engine of this team, or especially on offense.
So first, how do you feel?
I feel good. A little sore, but all good. So listen to the trainers and doctors and go from there, but feeling good.
It seemed like the last time you came out, your limp looked a little better than earlier on. Did you actually feel better by the end than you did when this first happened?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Once I got out there, I got back loose again and felt a little better. But like I said, I'm feeling good, and I'll listen to the trainers and doctors and go from there.
How frustrating is that, or difficult when you're told you're shut down?
It's frustrating. Obviously, you want to play, and you want to be out there with your teammates at the end of a game, where we're fighting and trying to win. But, I thought guys stepped up and, played great, finished off the game.
Considering how much you ran today, you were not really able to do that once if you were back in the game, were you?
Probably not. I think that was part of the decision.
Why were you so successful early on with those long runs? Why was that, in your mind, why was that there for you?
Well, I think the offensive line did a great job early on in the game. We hit a couple big runs with Saquon, and things were opened up, and then we had a couple compliments off it, and they were obviously playing Saquon, playing the downhill run, and so we had some chances off of it. But, I think hats off to the offensive line. They did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage all day.
When Tyrod went down, what's your first thought? Did you figure they would put Saquon at quarterback? Did you think you were going there? What are you thinking at that point?
I knew I was going back in, yeah.
But as far as taking those first few snaps, did you figure, are you thinking I got to go back and do this, or did you figure, oh, well, Saquon's next up?
Yeah, I knew I was going back in. I thought, I knew we'd be creative kind of in how we'd scheme up certain runs to keep it moving forward. But, I knew I was going back in. I felt good about it.
Did it feel odd being out there and kind of being the guy who relayed the calls to Saquon with the whole team?
Yeah, a little bit. It was a little bit different for us, and we had to, like I said, get creative with some of those calls. But I thought the coaches did a great job scheming some of that stuff up and still giving us a chance to move the ball down the field.
How'd you know you were going back in if they had shut you down?
Well, I think that was the communication is that, obviously I wanted to go in and considering the game and how it was playing out, it probably wasn't the best thing for the team. So when Tyrod went down, I knew I was going back in.
How did you feel when you were in the game now after you returned with your ankle? Like, was it pain? Was it hurt, or was it just like stiff? Or?
Yeah, it hurt. Didn't feel like I could move quite the same.
Even though each of these 3 wins none of them have been easy, but what does it feel like to be 3-1? This is not something you've gotten to experience here.
It feels good. We got a gritty, tough group of guys who want to compete and fight for 60 minutes. So, like you said, it hadn't been perfect. There's a lot of things we're still working to clean up and correct going forward, but we got a group that'll fight and compete for the whole game. So that's fun to be a part of.
Daniel, when you were handing on those fakes, when you were spinning around and running, at some point do you look up? Were you shocked at some point how much green you saw in front of you?
Yeah, I think when you get out there, you want to make a good fake, and there's kind of a moment where you're turning around and you got to make a read quickly as to run it or throw it, and a lot of times there's grass and you got to take what they give you. So I thought it was a good scheme, and coach did a good job seeing it and calling it.
On the longer touchdown run, I got to differentiate there. You had more than one. On the longer one, did you think you were going to score there? I mean, you kind of looked like you were almost like angling to the left side out of bounds. Did you see the end zone, or?
Yeah, I thought I was going to score. I was trying to decide if, cut back or keep it there inside the pylon. But yeah, I was confident I was going to score. It was a good block there by Tanner.
Did you interact with Tyrod when he came off the field? Does that concern you when you see how hard he was hit, considering what happened to Tua last week?
Yeah, it's a scary play. Obviously, it was a big collision there on our sideline. I didn't get to see him before he went in, but I saw him after the game. And, yeah, scary play, and you don't want to see that for a teammate or anybody playing.
Hey, obviously, it's about as early as you can ask this question, but, what are you thinking about next week and, how the ankle's going to be able to come back and play against the Packers?
Yeah, I think I'll, listen to the doctors and trainers and, take their advice, go from there. But, I'm going to do everything I can to play for sure.
When those series of events are happening, you're obviously on the sideline, Tyrod gets hurt, and then you having to come on and everything that happened after that. From the outside in, it looks chaotic. It looks like it's wild. What's going to happen? Is there confusion? It seems like from the inside out, you guys were pretty calm in terms of what you were going to do. Why is that? What do you credit that to?
I think we were prepared. I think, we had some stuff in the game plan for certain situations and stuff we could go to. And then I think also, guys were locked into the adjustments we had to make. And, it was clear communication from the coaching staff to us, and guys understood what they had to do. And we just had to go out and execute it. So I think we got a smart group of guys. We got a smart group of coaches that, are able to see that and adjust quickly and get us the assignments, and we go from there. But, yeah, I thought we responded to that well.
Is it a high ankle sprain? Did they diagnose it for you yet?
Yeah, they haven't diagnosed it exactly, so I'll keep, throughout the week, I'll go through some more tests and figure it out.
You've had it before, though, so how similar is this to those in the past when you did have a high ankle sprain?
Yeah, I mean, each one's different. Like I said, I still don't know exactly what it is, so we'll look at it throughout the week.
How nerve-wracking can it be when you're running a Wildcat? I'm sure you are not adept necessarily at, snapping shotgun to a running back.
I mean, it don't matter to me. I mean, whoever is shotgun player, so whoever I'm snapping it to, don't matter. Just credit to Saquon for being ready and the coaches for keeping us level-headed and kind of like business as usual.
John, you ran for over 260 yards today. How many times you've been involved in a run game that was that potent on a given day?
I don't think I ever have been.
So what went right?
Saquon. I mean, it's great when you have a guy like that behind you. Again, I think that the Bears did. I know it's a big number, but they did a good job of, sometimes it was 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yards, and then again, credit to Kafka and Daves for just trusting us and believing in. Not every run's going to be a big run, but I think we did have a few of those. And again, 2.6 is a special back. I mean, even on that screen, that should have been a negative yard screen, but we made something happen. And Daniel got in front of him and threw a block. So it's a good team win, and we got to be ready for next week.
What does it say about the defense early on? I'm thinking about, I think it was 3rd and 20, and they convert it, and then the next play you guys get the turnover. Tell me about that swing there.
Just resilience. It's all about the next play. You have to play the play. So for us, just understanding what we did wrong and how we could fix that. So having a short memory, when the next play comes, it's about alignment assignment, key technique, and play our hearts out. So that's really all it is, especially with this defensive unit. We got to make sure that we're all sprinting to the ball and, in efforts to make impact plays.
Like you've said several times, you've been around a while now. Have you ever seen so many injuries in one game? Is that one? I know it's a violent sport, but
it's been a while since I've seen that many injuries in a single game. But this is arguably the last gladiator sport, so we know what we sign up for, and you know, it's just about going out there and giving it our all. You know, we have coaches that have taught us how to play the game the right way, so just got to continue with those techniques, and everything else you leave it up to God.
How did we, I'm sorry.
So I was going to say, what were you doing before you signed back here? Like, were you training somewhere? Were you, like, what were you doing?
Training my off. You know, I'm a guy, I'm in year 7.
Yeah.
But I'm 27. I'm still young. I still got a lot of ball left to be able to play the game at a high level as well. So really just taking all the success and adversity that I've had over my career and just continuing to pour it out. Given the opportunity, the Giants brought me in, and I love what they saw. So it's a blessing to be here. To pick it up, I'm going to be here a little longer now, you know, coming in last year for the last 4 games. But I love the energy, love the vibe. And
is it a lot different than when you were here for the last 4 games of last year?
Yeah, it's a lot more pep in our step. We get a lot of the young guys believing as well, which haven't achieved a lot of success here in these past few years, and you know, with us with the Giants. So, you know, them getting a taste of what winning looks like, and all of that good stuff matters. You know, the humbling part about it is it's a 24-hour rule, you know, and you got to move on. You got to move on quickly. So,
how did Winking explain pregame, ahead of the game, during the week, what was going to be happening at those inside backer spots? Because it seemed like there was a pretty steady flow of guys in and out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Coach had a game plan, and then from there he just wanted to just kind of roll with the punches. So for us, we got to entrust in our coaches, and whatever, and you know, for me, whatever situation that they put me in, or anything that you know these coaches and these guys want from me, I'm gonna do.
It looked like on Tay's sack that you guys are playing a little game there, and they picked you up and left him clear path.
Yeah, that was a beauty. That was a beauty right there. I can't wait to see that on film.
Did you know you'd be on the field like 7 days after you signed? Like, was that always the plan, or did they say we might, you know, have to work up from the practice squad?
Everything that I've gotten is earned. And that's all Coach told me. Just you come in and earn. So, like I said, it's just a blessing to be here. I know I got a lot that I can add to this team. So it's about patience. It's about just being a steward of the game. I love the locker room. I love the guys that are in here.
You weren't in training camp anywhere, right?
Nowhere. No.
Was that the first time?
Nothing. First time. Yeah. First.
Were you pissed?
Naturally, the ego speaks, but. Yeah. I know I can still play the game at a high level. I know I'm still one of the best linebackers in the league. It's just granted opportunity. You know, so I'm just blessed to be here to be able to add, you know, that value. So it's a blessing, man. No complaints this way.
Did you ever think you were done, or you like retiring, or even though you can still play, did you ever think of retiring, or were you like, no, I'm still going to wait for the call?
It's all about timing. It's all about timing, and for me, it was just important to control what I can control. So that's really where my mindset is.
Who called you? Who called you from the Giants?
I know I ended up talking to Tim McDowell.
Notre Dame.
I forget. Yeah, it's my guy, Golden Domer. I forget who else called me. But yeah, it was a nice transition.